Which counties in Southern California just went negative in median home price for year over year? Plus, with price reductions and buyer demand being low, is it possible that it's still a seller's market? And where can you find out more information about your city or zip code? We're going to show you. Hey there, Christian Walsh, real estate agent with Wire Associates. We've been helping buyers and sellers make the best data-driven decisions with actual and factual numbers. And we're here with another one of our Southern California housing market updates. So if you're ready to dive into the median home price, inventory, and market action index for LA, Orange County, San Diego, Riverside, San Bernardino, and Ventura, hit that like button. And let's get started. Diving into the median home price numbers for the 6 counties, and half of the counties actually have some big news. And that big news is half of the counties are in the negative year over year. But am I getting ahead of myself? First, it is not abnormal to see prices drop this time of year. We've talked about this in other videos. We talk about this all the time. In fact, maybe you're sick of hearing it. I'm going to keep saying it, but maybe you're sick of hearing it. So we peaked early in median home price. Not me personally. The median home price peaked early in the year in April. That's where we saw the peaks, and then the prices dropped. And they dropped sooner than they should have. And that is what we've been reporting. That's what we've been seeing. Now, don't forget, there might be a slight shift in some of these numbers as we get further into the month and they continue to crunch the numbers. That does happen, and we may see that these median home prices go up or down a tiny bit. When you subscribe to the email newsletter, you'll get this chart and you can keep tracking it. But we see that drop. So we can see the drop. It did stay flat in Orange County for the median home price. For single family homes, condos, and townhomes, we stayed at $950. LA dropped, Riverside dropped. Now here, up in this corner is where we have the year over year numbers. So the median home price has increased 1.1% in Orange County, Riverside 1.8%. Los Angeles is down 1.2% year over year. So we asked you in the last video to predict when we would start to see negative year over year numbers, and we had got some great answers. Well, here's your answer. It's November where we start to see some of the counties have the negative year over year median home price. So this is a definite shift in the market that we will continue to track in the data. Let's see the other 3 counties. And the last 3, so we actually see that there is an increase in Ventura County for the median home price, and that's just because there's fewer sales. It's easy to kind of manipulate, even though we're using the median home price, which is the center number, essentially, dropping off all the ends and getting to the middle. So we do see that Ventura had an increase in the median home price. The other counties have a drop, and San Bernardino's down 0.4% year over year. Ventura is down 0.3%. San Diego's up 0.1%. So that's getting close to going into negative territory. So we can see that 3 Southern California counties are still positive, in some cases very slightly positive, and in the 3 other counties we have negative. So we need to keep tracking to see what happens. First, let's take a quick look at the advanced analytics that have just rolled out in Altos Research. You're seeing this here before you're seeing it just about anywhere else. You can see the inventory at a national level has been very consistent up until 2020, and then it dropped and we've been at record lows. Of course, the current inventory is up as compared to the past 2 years, but down compared to 2015 through 2020-ish. Taking a look into California next, you can see that inventory statewide was pretty consistent. There was a bit of an increase between 2018 and 2019. COVID hit, it dropped. We see the big slope, the big swoop up in inventory. That is when interest rates were going through the roof. They have since dropped, and we can see inventory is dropping as well at the statewide level. And then we have the different Southern California counties we have been tracking, and you can see that inventory is down month over month, or week over week actually. Inventory is dropping, which is a good sign for price stability because demand is down as well. Diving in, we're going to run through this quickly. I just want to take a look at a couple of numbers, and that is the market action index. And you can see that at the national level, we are at a slight seller's advantage. And then take a quick look at price decrease. 43% of properties have decreased their price. I'm going to want to talk about how these numbers dovetail. And moving into the state of California, we can see strong seller's market. So around about 45 on this metric, on the market action index, which is a proprietary algorithm comparing the rate of sales versus inventory. Essentially, it's absorption rate is what it is. So if the absorption rate drops below a certain point, it becomes a buyer's market. We're not seeing that yet at the statewide level. Let's check out the different counties. So we can see that Orange County is considered a strong seller's market. Looks like around 45 is that magic number where it becomes slight, and then under 30 it becomes a buyer's market. So we can see 44% of properties in Orange County have dropped their price. LA is a slight seller's advantage. Now LA, when we talk about median home price, they actually have a year-over-year drop in median home price, and 37% of properties are dropping there. Riverside, slight seller's advantage. Also San Diego, we have a strong seller's market, and here we have 40% of properties decreasing their prices. If you remember, the median home price there was almost flat year over year. It was not yet negative. San Bernardino, we have a slight seller's advantage, and we have 44% of properties dropping. And how does this compare to Las Vegas, where we're hearing in the news that the market has slowed significantly? And we can see in Las Vegas that they're actually right at the cusp of becoming a buyer's market. It's still a very tiny, slight seller's advantage. Once we get below 30, that's going to be the sign where it's a buyer's market for the market action index in Altos Research Reports. And over here, they have 62% of properties that have a price decrease. Of course, I encourage you to track any market at the city or zip code level and any place you want. As you can see, we can get the data in Las Vegas. What markets do you want? Make sure you sign up to get those reports sent to you directly. How can it possibly still be a seller's market when we're seeing price reductions, low demand, we see the median home price going down? We've just run through those numbers. I'm going to give you a quick answer on what exactly is going on. So the market action index that's in the Altos Research Reports, like we said, is a measure of the number of sales versus the amount of inventory. So it actually doesn't include the price at all in that number. The absorption rate is what that's referred to as, and that's the number of homes that are selling. It is independent from pricing. Pricing can do what it wants on the side while homes are sold and come to the market. So that sounds crazy, I know, that those are separate things, but you need to understand that they are different data points. So if we're seeing price reductions, why is it that it's still considered a seller's market? So one of the things in this market that's unique is inventory is staying low. And it's important to look at why inventory is staying low. We've talked about it before, but there's a wrinkle we're going to add to it when we talk about the absorption rate or the market action index. So inventory has stayed low because new listings aren't coming to the market. And this is for a few reasons. One is a lot of potential sellers are rate locked. Black Knight says that about 90% of mortgages out there in first position are at 5% or lower. So with interest rates at 6.5%, it's going to be a big pill to swallow for a seller to go ahead and sell at maybe 3 or 4% interest rate and now take on a 6.5%. So they are rate locked. The other side of it is these same sellers are hearing the bad news out there about what a terrible time it is to buy. So why would you list your home to sell when you're hearing bad news about the market for buying? So this is preventing new inventory from coming to the market. Let's talk about existing inventory. And this is the piece of the puzzle that you're really not hearing about elsewhere. We're seeing price drops because the sellers of existing inventory are being realistic and are being quick in dropping their prices. And what this is doing is, even with the low level of demand, because the prices are coming down and sellers are being realistic, not every seller, but a lot of them are, and that's why we're seeing those 30, 40, 50, 60% price reduction numbers. Those are realistic sellers in many cases. So they're dropping their price to a point where buyers are biting. So what's happening is we're not getting new listings coming to the market at a rapid pace, and the existing inventory is sitting, but not sitting long enough to start to stack up to where we get to the point where there's enough inventory to where it becomes a buyer's market. That's what's unique in this market. Low new inventory coming, and the existing inventory, we have sellers being, for the most part, realistic. So hopefully that makes sense. Let us know if you have any questions about that. And I want to hear your opinion on whether it really is a seller's market at the same time we're seeing these other data points. Let us know in the comments below. I want to hear what you think is going to happen to median home prices next month. Are we going to have all 6 counties at a negative median home price year over year? Will some go up? Will some go down that aren't down now? Let me know in the comments below. I want your opinion on where things are headed into the new year. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to our free weekly email newsletter. It's only for people who want up-to-the-minute news and facts and data. If you want pure opinion with nothing to back it up, don't bother subscribing. You won't find it there. And today was a double feature on videos. You need to see the interesting trend that we found in mortgage interest rates as related to November's going back and what it means for 2023. Thanks for tuning in. This has been Christian Walsh, real estate agent with Wire Associates, and we want to hear from you.